Welcome to the Kinesia Outdoors podcast, where my goal is to educate you on how to safely enjoy exercise indoors and outdoors, inspire you to experience life outside, and encourage you to live a more active life closer to nature. Today on the podcast, I have Gunnar from Ghost Bull Hunting. Thanks, Gunnar, for joining me. How are you today?
Great. Thank you, Stefan. Yeah, doing great. Day was good. And here we are into the evening here. And it's great to be here and talking with you about our
How's the
favorite
weather
things
over
to do.
there? Go ahead. I'm sorry, I spoke over you.
No worries, man. Yeah, we're here talking about our favorite things, hunting, the outdoors. So weather, yeah, it's cooling down. We always got that beautiful Pacific Northwest wind coming up in the afternoon till Indian summer hits, and then she'll be stagnant hot. So you know the drill, bow hunting down here. But yeah, it's perfect right now. I love it.
Sweet. Yeah, funny enough, this morning it poured here for like 30 minutes, like dumping rain. And I was gonna run out in my newly purchased rain gear, but I could not convince Cassie for the life of me. Everything I tried, she was not having it. So we just sat and watched the rain, and it was cool. It was a cool like family moment. I posted about it on my Instagram story, actually. That's what I was doing when I posted that. Yeah. So it was a cool moment, but I definitely would have rather been running around in my rain gear, rolling in some grass and putting it through its paces.
Amen to that. Can't wait to hear what you think, brother.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And family first.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Uh,
So, one thing I want to talk about, and this is something that we've spoken about on the mountain, and I've talked to Corey about as well. Corey Maxwell was a recent podcast guest, and that is conservation and hunting brands that support conservation. And you can support in so many different ways. Some people cut a check, some people are going to banquets and speaking and kind of trying to raise money on their own right. And I want to talk about what it is that you do because as a Christian man, we're taught by the Bible to kind of live a life and kind of lead a life that would glorify God. However, that doesn't always mean kind of shouting what we're doing from the mountaintops, right? So this
right.
is something that you told me about, kind of in private, but I really would like you to do your best to kind of talk about yourself a bit here, how you contribute to conservation and the future of hunting. So that way people can get an idea of Ghost Pulls more than just an American-made company making biddles, sweatshirts, hoodies, hats, and then obviously some bulletproof rain gear. So there's just another side to Ghost Pull that some people don't know about, and I think that it's actually most people don't know about just because you're doing the Christian thing of not shouting about how amazing you are from the mountaintops. So talk about what you're doing for conservation, Gunner.
Wow, man. Thank you very much. Well, conservation hunting is conservation, and it's always good to be humble. All right. You got to be humble. Some people, they can't decipher between passion and excitement about something. They think I'm being a little arrogant sometimes. I get told that from time to time, but ultimately it's all about being humble, right? But regarding conservation, I truly do look forward to, sales as we grow because we're just bootstrapping stage and phase right now. We haven't got to that next level yet. But a percentage of sales goes to conservation because it's important. I mean, look at that big land grab that we just dodged that bullet there, and hunters and everyone, outdoorsmen and women's all stepped up, and thank God we shortstopped them. But I look forward in that growth, a portion of the sales going to conservation and helping ensure that we have this for future generations. I mean, we've got to this. I mean, could you imagine life without getting out in the woods and hunting and enjoying the elbow room and the space and the peace of mind that it provides? So we damn sure got to protect it. So regarding conservation at this level right now, I mean, yeah, I donate to hal.org, Blood Origins. They just changed their name, and I Origins Foundations, I think it's called. Uh, why can't I think of the others right now? Oregon Hunters Association,
Mhm.
Sportsman's Alliance. That's the one I was
Yep.
talking about. That's huge. They do so much great work for us. Huge legal fees. Very important. So if you're a hunter, definitely uh, join their membership. And we have to. on a firsthand basis. Every time I'm out in the woods, anywhere, people they go out there and they throw their trash out. It can be a random anything, a cigarette butt to you name it. And I'm always packing trash out of the woods there. It shouldn't be there in the first place. And leave no trace. Pack it in, pack it out. That's a huge motto, and something to live by. I mean, have to do it. Yeah, we don't want it to look like Portland, Oregon, do we?
And let me interject here, Gunnar.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna speak on your behalf here a little bit, so forgive me if I kind of overstep. I've hunted with Gunnar 3 or 4 times now, put in dozens of miles, and Gunner's the only person I know that every time he goes in, he comes out heavier than he went in. And it's not because he kills every time he goes out. It's because every time Gunner sees trash, he stops, picks up the trash, puts it into the side pocket of his, is it your K3 XO pack? Every single time. And what you told me, I think every single time is um, where you're at, and it's pretty common in North Idaho as well, and in Washington, is timberlands. Well, timberlands, timber companies don't have to let people hunt on it.
No, they don't.
Weyerhaeuser charges a fee. I think it's like $500 a year or something. It's really high. Some companies, I'm drawing a blank. What's that company? It's smaller than Weyerhaeuser and Lewis and Clark. It's based
Um,
out of Corvallis.
it's not Hampton. Is it Port Blakely?
I think it starts with an S.
Stimson?
Starkey.
Starkey. Okay.
Starkey also gives free access as well. And in
Yeah.
their rules, it says stuff about, leave no trace, things like that. And one thing that you told me, and I read the rules, I don't leave a lot of trash, but I just don't use a lot of trash.
Yeah.
One thing you said is if people keep doing this, then these lands that are being gifted to us, in a sense, are just
Yeah.
going to be taken away
Yeah.
because people are using and abusing and misusing, and the timber companies are going to see it as more of a liability and a hassle than it's worth.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna speak for you there and just let everybody know you come out heavier than you go in every single time I've been with you, and it's been 3 or 4 times, and you're coming out with cans, bottles, wrappers, whatever it is, you name it, you're picking it up every single time you see it.
Damn right, and we'll continue to do so. I mean, it's part of being a good steward to the land, and it's our job. And them animals, it's part of respecting them animals. It is conservation. A couple of deer seasons ago, some genius dumped a truckload of crap right there in a Class A stream, right there where one of my biggest bulls lives in the off season. So it ruined my deer hunt. I had a beautiful plan, and I spent the day cleaning that up and turned it into the state police. Thank God they left some letters and photo albums. Like I said, genius behind, and they we turned it into the police, the Oregon State Police, and hopefully they got a hell of a fine. But yeah, things like that, can't stand for that. So through conservation, and it's all about respecting our lands, and respecting the animals. They go hand in hand.
Yeah, and one thing I always say, talking to my wife, we kind of gripe about seeing trash everywhere too, is there's a reason people from all over the world flock to these natural lands that we're talking about. And it's because it's so different and so beautiful from the concrete jungle, wherever that is for people. So we always talk about why would you then bring your trash and throw it on the ground and make it look like where you left to see beautiful stuff? So we're always baffled by that. But it's nice to see that you're on the same page and you are president, CEO, all those things for Ghost Bowl, and you're out there picking up more trash than anybody I've ever hunted with. So that's something that's pretty awesome.
We're damn lucky to get a hunt New Veen properties. That's where I was born and raised, and know like the back of my hand. So I'm too damn stubborn to go anywhere else for the time being. And later on down the road, I can't wait to expand the horizons. But I'll always, I'll drop out there. I mean, I'm going hunting when I'm 90. I don't care if I can't bust a canyon. If it's walking a main line or a spur, hey, I'm out there doing what I love the most. But I'll always pick up that trash. yeah, hopefully more people do it. And truthfully, last season, when they do open the gates and there's access, I did see some other hunters out there hopping out and in between hunts or wherever they're traveling, however they're hunting, whatever, and picking up trash. That was nice to see others doing it as well. So we got to keep it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And another thing I want to talk about, because I knew you were going to do this, talk about teaching those hunter safety classes. Because if I remember correctly, you don't get paid at all for that.
Nope.
And might get reimbursed for like travel expenses, maybe? No?
It depends on the length of travel, if it's a conference or whatnot. They do have a lot of them, and I've been unable to make a lot of those lately. Just schedule, full time job, family, and ghost bull. So yeah, it's a juggling act. And yeah, hunter education instructor. I love teaching hunter safety, the hunter safety course, and it's 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 a huge way to give back and provide for the future of hunting to keep it alive. I mean, their moms and dads, aunts and uncles, grandpas, everyone plant the seed in their head. Now they got to become legal hunters and responsible and a number one safe. So it is great. I love giving back. It's a volunteer situation, and we do it. We try to have four around here in this locale every year. It's not so easy to do with a small amount of summer, or excuse me, instructors. Due to that the summer event, because face it, most kids are out of school, and most families are on summer vacation or doing other things or sports. That irks me bad because when we do have these limited amount of obsessions here, someone will take their kid to a baseball practice or volleyball or whatever. It's usually in the spring, and good for them. It's good for the kids to be in sports and active and learn that discipline. But when it comes down to one day, come on, skip a day, please. You can hunt for the rest of your life. And it's something we all need to preserve and protect. And I don't mean to come off as uber opinionated on that, but hey, we do gotta preserve hunting. And this younger generation, there's less hunters more now than ever. And it's just not being taught like it used to. I mean, I remember the good old days showing up to school there, with my deer rifle and my shotgun and my gun rack right there in the back window. And yeah, what's the weather doing? All right, we're going duck hunting today. Or yeah, it's a good deer hunt day. Whatever, and yeah, people were all for it, and that was commonplace. And hopefully, it still is in some parts of the country. But you know, um, it's just a way of life. There's no change in that, and we've got to teach. We've got to ensure that these kids, are into it and want it like we do. Hopefully they do. So from what I see from all the classes, mom and dads and family members do a great job in planting the seed and instilling it. And then you get the ones that are, they look like they want to be somewhere else. But it's all about getting them engaged and teaching them that safety, and building that firm foundation that they're going to need to use for the rest of their life. How many times did you go to a buddy's house when you're growing up and um, yeah, let me show you my dad's gun, and taking it out of the safe or off the shelf or however it's stored, and you damn well knew that was wrong. Because my old man, if we touched a gun without his permission, we get an ass whooping, and but we knew better. So that kind of promotes safety. And I think if this was instilled and more people paid attention to it, there'd be a hell of a lot less school shootings, things of such like that.
Yeah, there's definitely a big effect to that. And just to summarize, it sounds like you not only donate monetarily, but you also donate your time to ensure that the future generation of hunters has that good foundation of safety and etiquette to
That's
be stewards of the land.
amen. Yeah, have to. Got to do it. So I love doing it, and hopefully we can squeeze one more in, and this before summer ends. Hell, August 1st tomorrow. So Archery elk starts in 4 weeks.
Yeah, don't remind me. It's coming up pretty quick. So now that we've talked about some of the things that you don't brag about yourself with, which I understand why. It feels weird to brag about yourself doing something selfless because then it doesn't feel selfless anymore, right? So I totally understand where you're coming from with kind of being quiet about that, but I feel it is something to talk about. I don't know any other hunting company president that is out there teaching hunters ed or things like that. So I think that's pretty admirable, and I respect you a lot for that, Gunnar.
Thank you. It's all about giving back and helping others, you know. So that's that servant attitude.
Yep,
Yeah, it's what we
that's
do.
right.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
So, using that servant attitude, that's a good transition into what I want to talk about next, which is I recently bought your rain gear. I knew I was going to buy it as soon as you came out with it.
Thank you.
Super fun to meet up with you, talk hunting stories, try on the rain gear, make sure I got the right size. And for those of you that don't know, Gunner's the kind of person that my daughter was in the truck because we were talking. I closed the doors so she was confined. And anytime she was getting rowdy and I'm trying to put stuff on and see how it fit, Gunner was going to entertain her so I could focus on the fitment and getting my proper size. That's the kind of person Gunner is. I don't know if he can do that for everybody, and maybe one day he'll grow too big, but that's the experience that I had. I'm sure others have pretty similar experiences. And in trying on your rain gear, there's a couple things that I noticed immediately that I didn't notice from other rain gear. So when I moved to Oregon, I'm no longer in Oregon. I'm not telling everybody on the podcast, Gunner, where I moved to
I
and
respect
my
that.
job. We'll just see how long it takes people to figure it out. I just think it's kind of funny. I'm
Cool.
sure people could look it up pretty quick here, but we'll see how long it takes for the place I work at to put it on their website. So, anyways,
I
when I moved to Oregon, the first thing I noticed when I went to Newport was all the fishermen were wearing Grundon head to toe. So I was like,
Mhm.
hey, you get Grundon. So I went and bought a Grundon jacket. I think I got the medium weight and I got it in just a black. It was just a color that was going to work for wearing to school and also wearing out in the woods if it's kind of darker. And that jacket works really well for keeping the rain off of my body. I would wear it over my backpack, walk in its class a mile and keep my backpack and my laptop dry. Worked great. Couple issues with it. The fit for me, I think it's built for people that are just a little larger than me, and I'm just like a skinnier person. Um, I'm a half of an inhale away from 5'10", uh, buck 50. 6'2" wing or 6 foot wingspan, like just kind of more lanky. And the fit for me was just kind of wide. And that's something that wasn't really my favorite. Another thing I noticed with it is it seemed pretty stiff and it didn't really give me the mobility that I was hoping for. And part of that was the fabric was so much bigger that I go to flex and there's just extra fabric around. Great for keeping me dry, but for moving around and doing things, it wasn't my favorite. Putting on yours, a couple things I noticed were the cuffs around the wrists, and then I noticed the armpit vents on both sides, as well as the pockets seemed a little bit different than the Grundon. The zippers were waterproof zippers. My Grundon, the one I bought, I know Grundon makes some with waterproof zippers. The one that I bought didn't have the waterproof zippers, probably why I got the cheaper one versus more expensive one. And the hood on the Grundon was just kind of a general hood. It wasn't adjustable. So your hood was what your hood was. And for me, the hood was too big. So I always tuck my hood behind my ear so I can hear a little better. Well, with that one, it was just kind of like turning the hood around my head and it wasn't working too well for me. So I noticed from yours again, the cuff, the armpit zips, and then that hood. And then finally, I noticed just visually, there's extra padding. Correct me if I'm wrong. Top of the head, shoulders, and then was it elbows?
Yep, all on the top of the arms. You got to have that for that puncture proofing those panels, you know. And it looks like Cordura. It's a waterproof ballistic nylon, but
Mhm.
and it's tough, you know. It's puncture proof, and I'm not sitting here saying that if you took a knife, why the hell would you do that in the first place? stab it, you're going to get it through no problem. But for brush and log and slash and bust it off limb stobs and branches, and of course the stickers, the Devil's Club, salmonberry. I worked through that brush and I looked at everything on the when it's raining and I mean it's dumping hard, and you got to use your head a little bit
Yep.
uh, to kind of move through, and you're ducking under underbrush and limbs and branches, whatnot. Yeah, that's that extra protection up there, so your hood doesn't wear through or puncture. I mean, the smallest hole from the top on down is gonna introduce water intrusion. So hey, we try to think of everything. I mean, uh, had to. So believe me, it was like a one hell of a dress rehearsal and practice. For years, ensuring we got it right when we fully made the decision to commit and do this. 12,373 people wanted it and said, let's do it. Someone needs to build it. That's what I did, and I did it for you, all you guys. And I wouldn't be here without you guys. I get to do this thanks to you guys and gals. I appreciate you so much. But we had to ensure that all those areas were reinforced. Realistically, you know, you lower it, but we got to keep that. It's still going to breathe out of the top, but not as well as the natural three layer there. So you got to have that breathability coming from out, which ties in and marries into the pit zips, which are standard on all rain gear nowadays. Any worthy rain gear, and you've got to be able to dump that heat, especially with how what your core temperature is, if you run hot or cold, or what you're layering with. Some people wear hoodies, a big heavy cotton bulky hoodie underneath, and
Hold on, I'm gonna pause you there. We'll get to that in a minute.
yeah,
I want
yeah,
I want to
yeah.
focus on the differences between yours and other
Mhm.
rain gear first, and then I want to end with you teaching us how to layer properly because that's something that I know I need help with. You left out one thing that I want to circle back to. So you
Okay.
talked the extra puncture-proof kind of layer on the elbows and the head, but you forgot to mention it on the shoulders.
Shoulders
And
and
what was the
back.
point of adding it to the shoulders and that upper back area?
Yep. And people love that because it doesn't wet out when your pack straps are rubbing and chafing. There's no seam there, where that's a failure point. People have really raved about that. They like that, and yeah, we truly tried to capture it all and get it right. The first time. Steve Speck from XO, when I met him at a show, we went over it, and he says, yeah, you get to a point, you get it to where you think it's ready, and more tweaks, and you just got to come to a point to say, nope, it's good. We can do refinements later. It's where we want it, where we need it, and yeah, refinements will come down the road if need be, and we'll go from there. But we truthfully captured everything, making that garment a wearable tool. You know, the old days, I'd use my gun barrel to move. I'm
Yep.
tracking a bull to move some Devil's Club so I could step through it, and they didn't care. They blew right through it. So now we just use the arm and just shove it aside, and it works well. It's You're fending off that brush. I mean, we solved the problem. We No one was doing it. We truly had to build something that endures and withstands this Pacific Northwest jungle. Short and sweet of it, and we got it
Yep.
right. We got it right.
Yeah.
We can
And
only get better from here too.
that's right. And one thing I like what you said is you said it's a tool.
Yeah,
So sometimes when people get something, we're just gonna rip the band-aid off. Your rain gear is expensive.
yeah,
Now, when people get things that are really expensive, they're afraid to use it
yeah,
because it cost money. It took a lot of time to save for it, a lot of kind of sacrifices maybe.
yeah.
But this is an expensive tool. So
Mhm.
I think of year-end gear, and maybe this is a poor analogy. Growing up, my dad bought Craftsman hand tools because it had a lifetime warranty, and you usually didn't even need the lifetime warranty.
Mhm.
Well, I think of year-end gear as the durability of those Craftsman tools of 20, 30 years ago that I grew up using. My dad would
Cool.
throw ratchets across the garage to me.
Yeah.
I'd bounce, skip across the floor, I'd pick it up, set it to, righty tighty, and it would work every single time. And I see your rain gear as kind of being that same way. It is a tool and it's a solid, durable tool. So now that we've talked about those patches, I want you to talk about that. Is it a neoprene cuff that I noticed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
It's
so talk about
neoprene,
that.
man.
I can figure out why it's there, but there's also different designs, and I like the design that you chose because I don't need to adjust it.
Cool.
And to me, that's really important. If I had to adjust it every time, it would just be another thing, and also Velcro's noisy.
Yeah.
So go ahead and talk about that and highlight what problem that you saw and how this fixes it.
I love it, and yeah, that it's always the surprise when we're at sportsman shows or trade shows. You got to witness that. You did a hell of a great job there, man. But when people try on the jackets, they're like, "Oh my God, it's about time." Grundens have been doing it with the rubbers for years, and being a mariner, we were out there working in all kinds of weather, just like Hunt, and um, big help, But the only problem with on a boat, yeah, it's a different kind of endurance. It's a different kind of work, and it ultimately depends on the project or what you're doing. But over a period of time, those neoprene cuffs got kind of stinky, So I was worried about that, and I sought out those 1,200 or 12,373 people. I asked everyone, "What do you think about neoprene cuffs?" And I got some of that. Yeah, it gets stinky after a while, and that might be true in some cases, but it was the only solvable. It solved the issue when you're pushing brush or
Yeah.
you're glassing in the rain. I hate, and I've read all the reviews on other brands where people are complaining about the cuffs where rain's running down, wicking down their sleeves and into their core, and now they're cold and wet and thinking about leaving or going and taking shelter or whatever. And to me, being in the rain, hunting the rain is the best. That's the way my dad taught me, and I don't care how hard it's raining. That's the best time. That's when you can really get right on the animals in the brush. I mean, think about that. You don't have the sight ability. You are stalking. You may not know an animal's there. Uh, you just know that they're somewhere in the area, and you're going for it. It's so fun. It's the element of surprise, But uh, back to them neoprene cuffs. Sorry, I start thinking about crawling through that stuff. Love it. But yeah, pushing that brush away, it prevents a lot of water intrusion down your sleeve, a lot of wicking, in both instances, glassing and pushing brush, or even crawling. Fishermen love it too. It's not 100% because your hand goes through a hole, but it definitely knocks it down big time. My original factory finished product is coming up on 3 years old, and I've beat the hell out of it, and it works great still. So, really happy and proud to provide that for people. Provide a better option. If you're a coastal hunter, I mean, you need something different. It's not the other stuff just isn't going to work. And God, I've had people buy a brand, save up and buy a brand new set of this brand, and didn't even last the first 4 days of elk season, where we hunt. So, um, this past year, they wore mine, and night and day difference. It's a proud moment, I feel like a proud dad almost, you know what I mean? For that, it's, yeah, we got it right. And I really enjoy, people, enjoying their hunt, being out there doing what they love the most. We only got X amount of time per year, and you got to capitalize. The more you're out there, the better chance you have, right?
Yeah, exactly. And especially with Oregon, I'm not the biggest fan of the Oregon rifle season lengths. You have 3 days or you have 7 days.
Uh,
So,
first first season's four,
oh,
and
4. Okay.
you got 4 days, and second season is going to be 7 days. So and
Yeah.
it's down from 5 and 9. I wish they would have never changed that, but you got to make it count. So that's
Yep.
why we do our homework all year round, and pressure changes everything. Once archery, deer in that first season kickoff, I hunt second for that, having a little more time, and we're not hunting herds, we're hunting single animals, and yeah, it's a whole different animal, whole different ball game. And yeah,
Yeah, so the point I was going to make is though, Some of those storms last 4 or 5 days. It's gonna last the whole season, the whole first season.
Yep.
So if you don't hunt in the rain and you are hunting on the coast there, you miss your whole 4 days, 4 or 5 days, 5 days for your elk hunt because you don't hunt in the rain. So you can easily miss that, or you can go out with rain gear on day one, shred it, and then you're out of luck for the remaining four. So again, you built a tool, and that's something I really appreciate about your product versus other products. I will
Yep.
note, so I like my Grundon jacket. I didn't get rid of it. I'm not going to get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfectly good jacket. But my Grundon jacket is thicker and heavier than your Ghost Bowl jacket. Now, Grundon didn't make a hunting jacket. They
Yeah,
made
no.
a keep you dry standing on a boat jacket. And it worked.
Commercial utilitarian jacket, right?
Yeah, and it works very really well. But when
Mhm.
we're hunting, some of the days, it's probably going to be different when I rifle hunt with you this year. But my longest day this year archery, I put in 21 and a half. Is that what it was? 21 and a half miles, something like that. I think it was almost 22 miles. There's no way I would put in 22 miles in a full set of those Grundens without sweating through and being like severely dehydrated. And that's not what it's made for. And that's
No.
where I noticed the few things that I mentioned with yours. The hood, there's a couple more adjustments on it. That extra, you call it your puncture proof.
Yep.
And then those cuffs, and then you said the armpit vent, that's standard. There's also the hip vent on your pants. On the pants as well, you put those kind of puncture-proof barriers on the around the boots, on the buttocks, and did you put them on the quads, on the thighs?
Oh yeah, they're up underneath those hip pockets there
Yep, that's
for
right.
extra protection.
Yeah, and again, those are strategically placed.
Yep, everything,
So the things that I noticed
everything.
about yours that are different is, and something that's different about you versus other ones is you're going into the thick stuff. And at the shows, because I was at a show with you one time, the people that hunt the thick stuff, as soon as they felt your rain gear, they knew
Yeah,
it's built for me. I hunt the thick stuff. This is built for me. Some guys are saying, "Oh yeah, I wear frog togs." You can get by with frog togs. If you're just trying to stay dry and you're going to hide under a tree, frog togs are great.
yeah.
And others are saying, I wear my rubbers and I wear a wool jacket over it. Yeah, that's going to keep you dry for sure. And then that wool over it is going to be quieter for sure. Wool's way quieter.
Yep.
However, it doesn't breathe. So you're going to be stopping more, drinking more water, or you're not going to be able to go as far because you're going to get that heat exhaustion. So again, you built a product and I've worn it around a little bit here, just kind of seeing how it feels. You built a tool, a usable tool. You didn't
Yep.
build a Ferrari that you're afraid to pull out of the garage. You built a tool.
Amen.
And on that note, I want to get into product care. So I have the product, I've worn it, I haven't even gotten it wet yet. Every single set of rain gear, correct me if I'm wrong, comes with zipper wax and then the Nick wax cleaner and
Yep.
resealer.
We
Perfect.
give
There.
you we give you a duo kit and that wax wafer, and I'll tell you a little bit of why on that. But studying everything. This has been an education. This process, this journey, and God, I love it. Love it. Can't wait to have a full line for all you hunters, coastal hunters. But you know, speaking of hunters, we're deathly afraid of washing our gear because we don't want those soapy scents or anything. There's been people that have, their wife mistakenly washed their rain gear, and the seam tape peeled off because they didn't do it. So that put a scare in a lot of us. Seen it happen, and thank God that company honored and gave them a new set, and it didn't last that long in this brush. Da da da, and we really had to learn about this. So I spent a day at the factory, and we went through this process. And it says though on the bottle that we give you, it's made for event. That's our waterproof membrane. Night and day difference over all the others. Truly, no one can compete. You'll have to find out for yourself. And Stefan, you will. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you have to wash this stuff because the the waterproof membrane has all those pores, right? You got to keep them clean, and depending on use, like you said, some people spending big bucks are going to baby it and use it as little as possible, only for specific applications. And some are going to use it. Hell, I spent the money. I'm going to use it for everything. Like Nick
Mm.
Lapeer up in Soldotna, Alaska, hunts and fishes in it, and he just sent a cool pic and text and says, that's the best damn rain gear I've ever worn, ever owned. That was nice. Thank you. You guys, you guys are awesome. But uh, you got to wash it. It's like I tell everyone, and I had to learn this myself. It's super simple. Uh, even any a caveman can do it or whatever, however that saying goes. But I mean, the directions are right here on the bottle. Fill your washing machine up halfway. A warm temp. You use the tech wash first, right? And run it on that medium cycle. It tells you everything on the bottle: top load, front load, and you run it. As soon as you're done with that, you add this and do the same exact thing. So there's two cycles. It's just like cleaning your gun, right? At the end of the season, you damn sure got to clean your gun, take care of your gear. It will take care of you. And you do the same thing, fill her up halfway, warm, medium cycle. Then you do have to dry it. It's just the way that stuff reacts with the technical fabric and uh, infuses with the total of the fabric rather than just a little spot here, a little spot there, So it's super user friendly. Can't fail, and you dry it on a super low heat. I use God, what is that? It's a very gentle cycle, washable wools cycle. It's low heat and does its job. And you know, realistically, I wouldn't wash it, um, but I have to for the sportsman shows or the trade shows. So it doesn't come in all muddy or bloody or hairy or anything or any stink. So we because we got the used set, my set compared standing right next to a brand new set. So I do have to wash it and through that education at the factory, they taught me and trained me how to do it. It's not so scary after all. It's actually super easy. And the best part is this stuff right here is water based, so you're not going to get your ass chewed for cross contaminating your wife's washing cycles and whatnot. A lot of people ask that question too. It's a great product, and realistically, at the factory, due to fabric science and factory science, they're 41 years of experience. I'd say that's a good chunk of time. A guy with heavy use can probably get away without washing it for 2 years. With again, that's with heavy use. If you use it specifically only for those 4 days of elk season, first season, God, you're going to go years without having to wash it. But eventually, you will to clean those pores. Sweat, pollen, dirt, grit, you name it, anything will work its way in. It's just simple wear and tear. It's just like buying a new rig and driving it. So uh, it's not such a scary thing after all. So definitely wash it, and that's what we mean by you'll get we guarantee a 15 years, and depending on the user, you'll get more like 20 years. It becomes more like a hand me down gun. One of my customers just bought a set, and yeah, my boy is gonna inherit this when you come out with a new color down the road and a new. I'm like, there you go. That's a hand me down. What do you call that? Oh shoot, I can't think of the name right now. When you hand something down, it's a heirloom. That's what I'm trying to spit
Yeah,
out.
family heirloom. That's funny.
Family heirloom. So that was kind of I took it as a compliment, but you do have to wash it, and we give you that right out of the gate. We're the only company that does that because, hey, it's an investment. You're spending a nice chunk of chain, and I'm going to be totally transparent here. And my mentors have said not to, but it costs me $940 to build one set, where your other brands are building it for a total of 80. And we're only $200 over the top price point for American made. And I realistically, I should sell a jacket for $945 if I want to make proper margins for the clothing industry. I can't do that being new. So, and I really wouldn't feel right about doing that either. But uh, so we are very fair priced, and we offer something that's gonna last and help you hunt stay dry and warm and enjoy the hell out of the hunt. Back to the it's all about helping others, and that's what we set out to do. Um,
Yeah, so let me play devil's advocate with you here.
okay,
So
okay,
let's say I'm with you, Oregon Coast, first season, and I get a bull, I don't know, second day, second morning. So we
yeah.
pack the bull out, and I get blood all over my pants and my jacket. Walk me through what you do. You can kind of be quick.
Yep,
So like game bags, you want to soak them first, hose them
yep,
off, pick off the meat chunks.
yep.
What would you do if I'm successful, get a bowl, and my rain gear's bloody from, blood dripping down the back, blood on the legs? What would you do?
Give it a damn good rinse. Rinse it off with a hose, and you should be
So
good
like
to
in
go.
the driveway?
Yep. If you were so damn tired and dog tired after that, and by the way, we're winching, we're not packing. Okay. So anyway, that's the way we do things. You're gonna love it. It's a sport. Um, the camaraderie and the anyway, you're gonna love it. But I would simply rinse it off because, for example, Bill Perkins' bull he killed second season. I mean, it was dumping all night and it was dumping hard that morning, and after, it takes a little while to lighten up. It takes longer to lighten up, So he's checking, and he's a road hunter. Not saying anything bad about that, but he's 70, so he earned it. He found a bull standing there on a ridge there in a canyon, and it's Whiskey Canyon. It's a big nasty son of a gun. Let me tell you that much. I love hunting it. I'm the only guy that does. So, and proud of that. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to decrease humility, but that place is mine. I love it. So he killed that bull down there, and yeah, I got Terry O'Loughlin from the Sportsman shows with me, and we dive off this landing, and Bill's over here on this side of the canyon, and there's this spur on this other side, and it's a big one with a ridge down the middle, and it's gnarly. I'm not going to BS you. Quickest way to get to that animal is straight off the landing. Terry and I went off, and it's all stickers and root wads and stumps, and it's just a Terry's gear is getting the crap torn out of it. I'm just plowing to get to that bull. So, to answer your question, I'm gutting that bull. I got blood all over me. Took my jacket off, just had the pants full of blood, and I just as soon as I got home, I rinsed it off, and zero issues. Now, blood does have an acid, and I'm not a scientist or a doctor. I just play one on TV, but no. Um, it has some kind of acid that will, if you left it sitting, it'll do something. It'll start breaking down the fabric. And whatnot. So it's better to get that rinsed off. If you like I said, oh, we got the neighbor's dog barking. Awesome, excuse me, but if you were so dogged tired after getting that animal out, and you left it overnight or whatnot, didn't rinse it and it soaked in, I probably would use some of this stuff after the season. Just why not? Just in case it got in because the face fabric is woven. That's an entry point, right? Over a period of time. If it got into them pores, you'd want to definitely wash it out, and you're good to go. So super simple, super easy, and we'll take care of you. I take care of it.
And every time you wash it with that part, you need to then treat it afterwards, right?
It's a good idea. It's a kit, and
Perfect.
it's pretty standard, and that comes directly from Nick Wax. I
But
always see them and consult with them at the functional fabric fairs. So I mean, it's a science, and it's simple, and it's how you prolong the life of your gear. And truthfully, any brand, there's some brands that are water resistant, and they have to rely on that DWR treatment, all right?
yeah,
And that new PFAS law kicked in January 1st in California and Maine and whatever states they're going to partake in it. So they're not going to allow it. So there's other they're gonna have to find different solutions. Well, hell, this is water based, just like I said. So we're good to go, right? This is the best product on the market, and it truly works. So we're not relying on that on DWR. It's gonna rub off going through the brush anyway. So you know, you should definitely wash whatever gear you use with that, no matter what.
sweet.
And
And
And can I can I finish on that
yep,
zipper
go ahead.
wax?
Sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to leave that hanging. But you know, we inspect our immersion suits, also known as Gumbies or survival suits. If a ship's on fire and we got to jump off into the sea or the ocean, yeah, you got these neoprene suits, and how you lubricate those zippers is with the little wax wafer. So I'm doing it last December for our. You're only supposed to do it for Coast Guard CFRs, Code of Federal Regulations, annually, once annually. But we do it, every 6 months for ours. I mean, we got students, right? And we got to keep them safe. So I'm sitting there, inspecting and going through all our immersion suits last December, and I'm thinking, why in the hell wouldn't I do this for my rain gear? Why wouldn't I give my customers one of these little wax wafers to help them out a little bit furthermore in caring for their gear? This is life saving equipment, and when you break it all down and you're hunting those severe storms, atmospheric rivers, raining sideways, weather events, yeah, why not? Why not have a little extra protection and a maintenance item to keep your gear working for you. So we do it with our immersion suits. Why the hell wouldn't I do it with hunting gear? So definitely do that. And when you dig into YKK zippers, they actually recommended it, even though the reps have never told me that. We just kind of did it on our own. It's just kind of ties the mariner and the hunter together, and
Yep.
that's just my experience. And I like to ensure people are happy and successful. So and those zippers, I'm using the YKK Aqua Seal. It's a dry bag zipper. It's a little bit different, and how this there's my daughter. How this came about was we wanted to take it a step up, and we'd ran some lesser zippers for cost, because zippers add a lot of cost to a garment, a lot. Uh, and Yeah, they I had a 50 cent wet size wet spot on my right knee, and I'm like, no, we're not using those. So we went to this, and motorcycle cops use them, and they're running down a highway doing 60 with that rain beating on them. It, it, the factory said, yeah, let's try these, and we did, and they've been great, but they're a little stubborn. You'll find them stubborn sometimes. They're just stiff. It's just how what they were designed to do, to keep water out, right? And they're self-aligning. If they go off track, you can realign them super easy. You won't have any issues with that. But what I did find, you're crawling through some of these spots to get and stay out of the wind and stay as low and keep as much scent on the ground as possible. And it's the only way you can move through a patch of reprod sometimes. And there's a lot of clay in the makeup of these soils around here. So that clay, when it gets wet, it gets really gummy, and it gummed up my zipper this one time. I'm like, yeah, that sucks, but that's hunting. No problem, we can handle it. So adding that wax this past season, or this shed season rather, in those situations, I never had any issues with it being all gummed up. So it's an extra something for our customers, that help you care for your gear and keep you happy and safe.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks. I forgot to touch on that, so I'm glad you circled back to it.
Well, I'm sorry for
So,
being long-winded there. So,
oh, no worries. It's fun because we get the answers, but we also get the reasoning why, so people can understand that you built something with years and years of experience through your experience as a mariner as well as your experience as a brush hunter, and it's fun to hear that, so I appreciate it. So there's two more things, two more questions I'm gonna give you for layering. So I generally just wear whatever I'm gonna wear. If I get wet, I get wet. If I don't get wet, I don't get wet, and I just deal with it. We don't have to do that in 2025. So
nope.
I'm going to give you two scenarios, and I'm going to have you tell me how you would layer and dress for them, just kind of generally. Everybody's a little different, right? But just kind of general. So let's say it's, I don't know, 40 degrees and it's just dumping rain, and it's going to be raining pretty hard the whole day. It might let up a little bit, but it's forecasted to rain, I don't know, 2 inches for the whole day. how should somebody layer for that? So they're going to be wet the whole day and they're going to be doing, I don't know, 5 to 7 miles of walking around a bit. So walking, glassing, things like that. How would you want them to dress for that?
Dress and layer underneath the Ghost Bowl hunting Wickiup rain gear, correct?
Yep.
Under our rain gear. Well, I built it, and I tried everything out there on the market to go with it and test against that. And let's face it, the temperature swings around here are different, especially when you climb elevation. Temps drop, so it can be mild rain and we get a Pineapple Express where it's dumping like that. It's pretty mild, and you don't want to overlayer for sure under rain gear. And then you can get up higher on the top of Wiki up there and dropping down, and it's colder than hell. That rain is bone chilling cold. So your scenario right there, I built this gear to wear all day. It's your daily driver, right? That's that's what it was designed to do, right? And I, after testing all those different base layers, and I can't wait to build ours. Um,
Yeah.
um, Merino wool, man, it's built to wear merino wool um, underneath it. So you're right. Everyone is different. Everyone's core temp is different, and some people run hotter, some people run colder. I mean, there's guys out there that hunt in t-shirts. They don't care if they get wet. When they move, they're hot. They're sweating. So it's refreshing to them, and that's just what they've always done. And then there's guys that got to wear multiple layers. So I'm always starting with, uh, and I recommend for that situation, merino wool. Start with
So merino wool, and then depending on how hot or cold you run, you would do a thicker or a thinner wool blend, right? Okay, sweet.
a mid layer. I mean, that Biddle shirt you're wearing right there,
Yep.
it's a synthetic, so that stays on top of a merino for me, and that's what I run. If it gets colder, I'll add a mid layer, and God, I can't remember the name of the jacket, but I can't wait to build one similar, and it's awesome. It does it all for me for my temperature, the way I run, whether I'm moving to get into a place and then sitting to finish out the day, till dark, and I got to hike out. I like that extra layer. It works perfectly for me. So I look forward to that jacket. It'll be called the Nikolai, so it's already
Love it.
copyrighted.
So then, question, if somebody's moving, so let's say I'm standing, I'm glassing, I'm gonna
Hmm.
cool down, right? Because I'm not moving.
Yeah,
The rain's gonna get cold on my gear, on my jacket and my pants. That's gonna be touching my merino wool. That's gonna
mhm,
help a little bit, but I'm gonna cool down, right? So I
yeah.
want the hip vents and the armpit vents closed.
When it's
So let's
raining
say
like
I go
that,
to
yeah.
start running. Yeah, let's say I go to start walking, and I'm just walking on a road. I'm doing the cat road shuffle.
Mhm.
Do I want to open those up and before I start walking, or do I want to wait till I get warm and then try to dump heat? What do you recommend for that?
Great question. Again, that's going to be ultimately up to you.
Okay.
Um, if it's raining like hell, I wouldn't open them. That
Yep.
event breathes so damn well. Oh my God, it breathes well. You're gonna love the breathability, and I'm gonna brag about this, and I don't mean to not be humble, but we chose well. We are the only rain gear garment that offers uh, a 30 rating. I don't know why I can't say it perfectly right now. A 30 rating for waterproofing, which is the highest, and for breathability, 22 rating. No one offers that. You're either getting, if you buy a garment at a 30 rating for waterproofing, you're getting 10, 15 for breathability. So to have 30 and 22 is unheard of, and we're luckier than hell to have sourced this and locked this with our sourcing partners, and it's right. It works perfect for this area, and all the guys in Alaska, they say the same thing. It's obviously colder up there too. It
Yep.
breathes well, and no matter how they layer, and you do want to be careful in layering. You want to layer to your body type. If you overheat easily, don't put too many layers on. If you're cold all the damn time, even in the sunshine, you better find something that works for you. And that's up to the individual to figure out. But you cannot go wrong with merino wool. I wear it in 80-degree weather as well. So
Perfect.
that's just me. But the
Yeah,
zippers, if it's raining, I would
sweet.
keep them zipped up. But if you're starting to heat up a little bit down there, drop them a couple inches, you'll be fine.
Perfect. And the next scenario, because we've both experienced this, some people may have not. Let's say it rained the day before, and it rained, like I just said, 2 inches of rain throughout the day. It stopped raining, let's just say at dark. So all night it's nice and cool. You get all this nice condensation.
Hmm.
But the next day it's going to get up to, I don't know, 60 to 70 degrees. Sun's going to be out, but you know that brush is going to be soaked for like 3 days.
Hmm.
So how are you going to tell people to dress for that? Let's say the brush is, like hip height. It's not, shoulder and neck height.
Well, with that high temp swing there, merino wool is gonna save the day again.
Right.
Definitely. I It's the best product on the market there for a base layer, and it's ultimately your preference. And I did leave that out from that dumping rain earlier, but you're dealing with wet brush that holds a lot of water. Anytime
Yep.
that pressure from that brush rubs against the fabric of your garment, it's going to want to push that water in. Thank God for uh, our technologies. You're going to
Yeah.
love it. I can't wait for you to experience. But yeah, you're always going to be fighting that off. And we built this gear to be able to handle that. Double duty, the pressure from that wet brush and the precipitation itself. So it's a great way to stay bone dry. On that warmer day where it's starting to rise, you're probably not going to wear a jacket. If you're there and you're not going to take off your pants, yeah, side vents, zip them down,
Yep.
and yeah, vent. And with these side vents here, you don't have to run them all the way down to your knees. Just like you mentioned earlier, hiking a main line to get to your entry point or exit
Yep.
point there from a hunt, it's the quickest, fastest way. I mean, hell, elk and deer use it too when the gates are locked. But and even when they're open. So yeah, that's how you cover ground and get from point A to point B. You know, z- Zip them. I usually drop them about 6 inches there. That does just fine. Whereas the old days when all the side vents came out and garments, we'd run them all the way down to the knees, and just
Yeah.
there's real rain gear's different than a hunting pant, which both, they both come with the side vents. So yeah, you're gonna zip it to down to where you're feeling the effects if you need to dump some heat. But generally, 5 6 inches works great for me.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Well, that answers my questions. I want to thank you, Gunnar, for doing this podcast with me.
thank you.
After I bought the rain gear, again, I knew I was going to buy it as soon as you launched it. I just needed time to save for it, like I'm
Love
sure
it.
some of the listeners. I wanted to make sure I took care of it well, and I wanted to kind of get some more insight onto the design of it because when I look at it, there are just things that one of my friends, he says all the time, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's a really simple way to say, like, oh, like, why didn't somebody do this before? So I appreciate the thought that you put into it because you're a brush hunter. You go into the thick holes, you built something for the brush hunters. You can use it for fishing. Your
Oh,
recent winner is he a fly fisherman? A Lutton?
he fishes for everything. It looks like I checked
Okay.
out his Instagram, and it's funny you mentioned him. I actually met him a few years back where they accidentally
Cool.
left their pack on a landing, and I hunted uh hunted him down and found him and returned it because it had his granddad's old hunt knife in it, and I mean wanted to get it back to them. So that was kind of neat that he won that, and they'll be
That's,
down
that's cool.
this first season elk too. So hopefully we cross paths. But
Yeah, that'd be neat. But it's really cool because I bet he's going to use that for fishing. He's going to use it for fly fishing. You have people on crabbing boats.
yeah,
We, you've seen
showboaters.
people Alaska, Panhandle, Idaho. If it's wet and you're moving a lot, this may be a product that you want to look into. That's
Yeah.
why I used it. I cannot hunt and sit still all day. My dad, really good at it. He can sit still. He calls it, I'm going to play statue today and he just sits still. I cannot do that. I've got ADHD. I can't. I have to move. And that's what your product's built for. It's for moving. I mean, yeah, you can sit in it, right? But it's for moving through thick stuff and keeping you dry. But that factor is you're dry while moving. And that's where that you're saying it's breathable but still waterproof. So,
Yep. And it's
yeah, that's
quiet
my
too, and
two pieces. And
it's
I want to
quiet
end
too.
with, it sounds like I'm kissing up to Gunner here. I paid full price for this, just like everybody else. It looked kind of like a shady drug deal in the parking lot there in Astoria, but I've got the receipt for it. He's got the log in his books. I bought the rain gear. I bought this biddle. I've bought all my biddles. I bought my rain gear from you, and I bought a hoodie. I just like your stuff. That's all there is to it.
Thank you
So
so damn much.
before
Like I
people
said,
think that you're paying me, you're not paying me. I bought the rain gear, and it took me 2 years to save for it. So. On that note, we'll let you get out of here, get over to dinner. So thanks, Gunnar, for joining me on the podcast. And if
uh,
any of you, if anybody has any questions, how can they find your Instagram? And go ahead and point them to your website too, so they can check out the rain gear.
yep, website's www.theghostbull.com, and we're the Ghost Bull on Facebook and Instagram. Those are the main
Perfect.
platforms
Easy.
we use. And hey, you buy from me, I'll pack animals out from you, and I'll take care of you till I take my last breath. That's I mean business. So
Yeah, when I get a Montana Bowl this year, I'm gonna give you a ring. We'll see how true that is.
yeah, I'll within logical distance, but for the most part,
I'm teasing.
I know some people ask it, and you gotta make sure that's covered. So, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I'm just
if
teasing.
I could, I would.
So on that note, I'll just do our little close off here. So all right, everybody. That's the end of this podcast. If you remember my quote from last podcast, start moving if you haven't, and keep moving if you're already moving. We'll catch you on the next podcast.